5 News at Noon starts now.
Shock, most definitely, and can't believe it happened here.
A popular campground in north central Arkansas closed after a man is found dead in what investigators are calling a possible bear attack. What we're learning from Arkansas Game and Fish. Plus, high school football teams are gearing up for some big games tonight. We have a preview of tonight's football Friday night game of the week. But first at noon, we continue with coverage of that possible deadly bear attack at a campsite near Mount Judy. Arkansas Game and Fish say that the state crime lab is working to determine if the man died before the bear found him. Thank you so much for joining us on your 5 News at Noon. I'm Tiffany Lee. This right here is video showing the area near Sam's Throne Campground. Now, we first brought you the breaking news of this possible attack on 5 News this morning. The Newton County Sheriff says that the man found dead was a 6-year-old from Missouri. Arkansas Game and Fish tell 5 News that he was on a multi-day camping trip. His family called deputies for a welfare check after not hearing from him in a couple of days. Game and Fish say a deputy showed up to find something had happened at the campsite and then found the man's body 60 feet away from his campsite. Campers have been forced out from the campground while the investigation into what happened continues. We talked with one woman who says campers are in shock.
Those kids that were down here that were camping up there, they were terrified.
Game and Fish says that the man's family sent photos of a bear before they stopped hearing from him. Investigators are actively searching for the bear. Well, new at noon, Oklahoma Highway Patrol troopers are investigating a deadly crash in Leflore County. Troopers say it happened on Highway 259 near Ashby Road last night around 9:30. The driver was heading north when troopers say that he ran off the road while going around a curve and then went through a ditch and then hit a tree. Troopers say the driver was a 65-year-old man from Sperry. Also new at noon, Fayetteville police announced both officers involved in a deadly shooting last month have returned to duty. 42-year-old Brandon Poulter was killed in the shooting, which consisted of an hour of exchanging gunfire at the Cliff apartment complex. The officers were placed on leave for an internal investigation. Today, the Fayetteville Police Department says state police and the Washington County prosecutor completed their review of the officers' actions and found no violations of the law or policy.
It is another sunny and beautiful day out there. Here's a live look in Fort Smith over Rogers Avenue. You notice plenty of that blue sky. We're seeing plenty of it across the entire region. 82 degrees in Fort Smith. Dew point not too bad in the mid 60s. Yesterday, though, was close to the upper 60s. So for us, this is a nice improvement that dew point is slowly dropping. Similar to yesterday, right now we're seeing temperatures for the most part in the low to mid 80s, some upper 70s there in Boonville as well as in Huntsville. Overall, though, it's a very nice afternoon, and those temperatures will get close to 90 yet again this afternoon. If you're headed out for a bike ride or just a little bit of a workout later this afternoon, yeah, it's going to be on the warmer side in the mid 80s, but still going to be pretty nice overall with plenty of sun and a light southeast wind. So if you're headed out this evening, yeah, just make sure to have a little bit of water, maybe some sunscreen, at least right now, just because there's not a whole lot of cloud cover, not a whole lot of anything blocking out the sun. So as you can notice that, yeah, it's sunny. That's not necessarily a shocker for anyone. It's going to stay dry through the weekend, maybe see a light rain chance Monday through Wednesday, then maybe a bit of a cool down starting Wednesday, but it's not the cool down you might be expecting, but it's still going to be a little bit cooler nonetheless. Talk more about that here. Get you ready for the weekend coming up in your full forecast. Tiffany.
All right, thanks for that, Danny. Well, the Senate is expected to vote again today on funding bills to reopen the government. But both Republicans and Democrats remain dug into their positions. Hanging in the balance are hundreds of thousands of federal employees who have been furloughed and threats by the Trump administration of mass firings if the shutdown continues. Natalie Brandt has more.
With shutdown impacts growing each day, the White House is piling on more pressure. This morning, the head of the Office of Management and Budget, Russ Vought, announced over $2 billion in Chicago infrastructure projects have been put on hold. That comes as the administration has threatened further cuts to agencies and mass layoffs if the shutdown continues.
It's likely going to be in the thousands.
This afternoon, Senate lawmakers are set to vote again on dueling measures with no word yet of a breakthrough.
At some point, reason, good sense, common sense has to take effect here.
Republicans insist on reopening the government first before negotiating over the enhanced health care tax credits that Democrats want.
They're hurting the American people. Let's find a bipartisan path forward, and let's address the Republican health care crisis.
Republicans are being responsible. We're operating in good faith, And we're trying to get the Democrats to do their job, and they won't.
Hundreds of thousands of federal employees remain in limbo, worried about missing paychecks if the shutdown drags on for many days or even weeks.
What are they going to do for groceries? What are they going to do for gasoline and those type of things? The essential things that they try to provide for the families. That's what they are concerned about.
Food banks nationwide are preparing for increased demand, especially if money runs out for federal programs like WIC and SNAP, which provide food assistance to low-income families and children. There are concerns funding could lapse if the shutdown is prolonged. Natalie Brand, CBS News, the White House.
Well, many national parks remain open, although staffing is limited, with thousands of national park workers furloughed and some facilities shut down. Sean Diddy Combs learns his punishment today despite a last-ditch effort to have his conviction of 2 felony counts overturned. Over the summer, a jury found the music mogul guilty of prostitution-related charges. CBS's Jared Hill has more.
How you feeling today, Mama?
Sean Diddy Combs made a final appeal for leniency ahead of his sentencing hearing today.
My nose fell off.
Overnight, Combs' legal team released a 12-minute video painting him as a family man, philanthropist, and mentor.
This is our 3rd school we have opened. It's official.
In July, a jury found the music mogul guilty of 2 counts of transportation to engage in prostitution, linked to 2 ex-girlfriends, Cassandra Ventura and another woman who testified as Jane. Combs was acquitted on the 2 more serious charges of racketeering and sex trafficking, avoiding the possibility of life in prison. In a 4-page letter to the judge overseeing this case, Combs apologized for his actions, asked for mercy, and promised never to commit a crime again. Sentiments echoed in the court. During the nearly 2-month trial, prosecutors sought to establish that Combs orchestrated a criminal enterprise and forced women into sex with escorts, requesting a sentence of over 11 years. The defense argued those acts were consensual and asked for 14 months.
Racketeering sex trafficking cases are like fire-breathing dragons, and he slayed the dragon.
David Shapiro is a former New Jersey prosecutor and professor at John Jay College of Criminal Justice.
They, on their own, are dotting I's and crossing T's for an appeal.
Each of Combs' prostitution-related convictions carried a maximum sentence of 10 years behind bars. Jared Hill, CBS News, New York.
A massive fireball erupted at a Chevron oil refinery in Los Angeles last night. The explosion lit up the sky, sending flames shooting into the air that could be seen for miles. Residents near the refinery say it felt like an earthquake rumbling beneath their feet. Firefighters rushed to contain the massive blaze, urging people to stay indoors.
It's like all orange, and then like we just see like this big explosion, and then we see all the fire just rising up, and it was just like a crazy sight to see, honestly. It was bad.
Chevron officials say no one was hurt in the blaze, and it's not clear yet what caused the fire. The El Segundo facility is a critical part of California's fuel supply, providing 20% of the state's motor vehicle fuel and 40% of its jet fuel. Energy analysts say that gas prices could rise since California's fuel market is largely cut off from refineries in the Midwest and the Gulf Coast. Well, a Florida man is behind bars after being arrested this week in connection to a murder here in Arkansas. State police say that he's accused of killing his sister, an Arkansas resident, earlier this year. This is video from the Volusia County Sheriff's Office Facebook page showing 68-year-old Mark Brown of DeLand, Florida, being arrested. Police say that he's accused of killing his sister, 69-year-old Mona Sloop, who was found dead in her Leslie home on July 22nd. After months of investigation, Arkansas State Police gathered evidence linking him to the crime. Brown was arrested on October 1st and is now in a Florida jail awaiting extradition back to Arkansas. State police say that the investigation is ongoing and more arrests could still be possible. Oklahoma has appointed a new state superintendent following the resignation of former Superintendent Ryan Walters just last week. Lindell Fields has worked in education for more than 3 decades and most recently served as the CEO of Your Culture Coach, a company training and recruiting teachers. He fills the seat of Ryan Walters, who resigned from the position to become CEO at the Teachers Freedom Alliance. During Fields' introduction, Oklahoma Governor Kevin Stitt expressed how he hopes the legislature will place a measure on the ballot to allow governors in Oklahoma to appoint state superintendents instead of electing them. Well, tonight's football Friday night game of the week is between Fayetteville and Rogers, kicking off at 7 at Fayetteville High School. 5 News reporter Emily Moss spoke with Rogers today about their preparations as an away team.
Tonight's game of the week is, of course, at Fayetteville, but I'm here at Rogers High School, where they're coming in as a bit of an underdogs, but the coach and the players say that's not fazing them tonight.
In last year's matchup, Fayetteville won 41-38 over Rogers, but this season, Rogers is undefeated, and they've put up 30-plus points on the board in the last 4 games. For the coach and the players, they say it's all about making sure they're really concentrated and focused on the prize.
Just execute and do our jobs and play clean, can't turn the ball over, can't have crucial penalties at crucial times and things like that. And then defensively, we got to get after them a little bit. They're very explosive, so you know, it should be a great game.
I mean, it's going to be a long game. It's going to be a good game, so we just got to stay focused and do the little things right.
Behind me now, I have the cheer and the drum line. You can listen to them and all your favorite teams tonight on Football Friday night. Back to you.